Hello, everybody again. I think we're ready to start. Everybody ready? Okay, so glad to be here again, Rabbi Bloch, and glad to be here with Joyce Siegel, who's our program coordinator for the Jewish Care and Support Program. I know she also works here as Rabbi educator or Rabbi for
The program.
the program director here. Okay, I was educator. Okay,
It's education.
Jewish family experience.
Jewish family experience. Right, exactly that. So what we're gonna do is you should have three pieces, three packets, one's a piece. So three different packets of paper that you've received. Actually, I grabbed too many of these.
Blame you. I think it's one.
Okay,
Thank you.
so you should have the ethical wills template.
Right.
Okay, everybody should have the ethical wills template. Then you should have Jenny Stein Berman.
Yeah. Sure. Don't.
You want a copy of this one?
No, they don't have.
I don't know, let's find out.
Oh.
I think it's okay.
Okay, okay, there's no more Jenny.
She's running more.
Okay, so they're running more copies, so you should have three things. You should have the ethical wills template, putting your values on paper, and then the Jenny, what was her name? Jenny Stein, Jenny Stern. You don't have that, that's coming, it's gonna.
She's got it. She gave it to us.
She gave it to you?
They ran.
Hold on one second.
I guess she ran out of people.
Okay. Let's just do this. Can I borrow yours for a second?
Jenny Stein.
Okay, so Jenny Stein, okay. They're making more copies of Jenny Stein, but we're gonna start here and then you'll get yours in a second to take home. Okay, so again, Rabbi Bloch, we're just gonna begin with the blessing for the study of Torah. Want to say hello to those on Zoom. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to Eric again for being amazing and helping. So just we'll join together for the blessing of the study of Torah because we're studying the Torah of our hearts. So please join with me. The blessing's not there. If you don't know the blessing, just say amen at the end. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'shanu b'mitzvotav tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, eternal our God, who commands us to immerse ourselves in the words of Torah. Okay, we have more. Okay, so if you need Jenny Stein, Berman, we'll start there. And then Eric, did you get the putting your values on paper? Did you get that one? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so there are three handouts. Okay, Jenny Stein, a Google template, and putting your values on paper. Okay, we're gonna start here with Jenny Stein Berman. Okay, this is a sample, and I think those of you on Zoom, I think you have these were all given in PDF. I'm pretty sure, right? Lynn, is
Jane.
Lynn,
Jane.
Jane or Lynn or Jane? I think they were emailed to you, but if you don't have them, we can make sure to get them to you. I thought they were emailed to you. Okay, we're gonna start here. I'm going to read this ethical will, okay? I would have one of you do it, but I know they can't hear on the Zoom, so I'll read it. And then you're gonna tell me, is this an ethical will or not, okay? To all my children, this is your mother's last wish. After I'm gone, you should always be together and well and happy. And of what is left in money, I want you to share and share alike. Florence, Elvin, Julius, Lester, if it is only $1, you should get worth of it. That is my last wish. And if I go before Sam, you should also see to it that he has a place to sleep with something to eat at all times. Please, that I can rest in peace. That is my last wish, that you all be well and happy. And I give you all my blessing and love, Mother. This is my last wish. Is this an ethical will?
No.
Yes, no? Yes, no, maybe? Who says no? Okay, 3 of you, 4 of you say no. Why do you think no?
Well, it's she's already dividing up who gets what for money.
Okay, so there's a monetary part in it, which is kind of like, if that doesn't feel good, we don't want the monetary part in our ethical will, and I agree. Like that should be in a different part or different something. But what about the rest of it?
think it is because she's talking about, I think it's the brother, Sam, who seems to need help. So she wants to make sure that Sam is taken care of.
Yeah, so it actually is an ethical will. It comes from that same book that I showed you last week, So That Your Values Live On by Jack Reamer. And what do you think of the length of it?
Short and sweet.
It's very short. Now, I don't really love it because it's super short, and I don't know how like someone could say everything they feel and believe in like a paragraph, but she is pretty much doing it. And how many times did she say, "This is my last wish"? She said it multiple times. This is my last wish. Right. So she's sharing sort of her ethics. She clearly cares about family. Right. And by the way, I always ask who Sam is, and tell me your name again. Nusha read it in advance. She figured out that Sam is the brother. Everyone always thinks that Sam is the husband. I've had some people tell me that Sam is the dog. That's always my favorite. But Sam is actually the husband. I mean, brother. Excuse me. Her brother. Right. Yeah. It's at the top. Right. Now let's read the top and see if the ethical will matches a little of the bio or the description of Jenny. Jenny Berman was brought to America from Lithuania by her family, which settled in Ohio. Following her marriage, she lived in Chicago until the end of her life. Her children and grandchildren remember her as fully observant of Jewish tradition, both very progressive and modern in outlook. A granddaughter recalls her dressing like a princess for the Sabbath. Sam, for whom she's concerned, is a bachelor brother. The date of this letter is 1956. What do you think's missing in this ethical will? She's writing this ethical will to family. What's missing? We just learned some interesting things about her. Tell me your name.
Bruce.
Bruce, tell me what's missing.
Well, as you mentioned last week, I thought one of the things we should talk about is desire of how we want to be buried, where we want to be buried, and who we want to be near, and cremation, etc.
Yeah, so I think that should go in it as well. I don't think it has to go in it, but I think it should definitely, I think it's important to have it. It's right, you have monetary, it's like 3 categories. You want your financial, you want your physical body, you want your spiritual, right? So the ethical will is really the spiritual part. But yeah, I think we should have it all. And in America, we're really used to just one thing, and that's just the financial, right? We don't take note of the physical, we don't take note of the spiritual. Yes, tell me your name again.
I don't want to be a doubting Thomas, but I kind of wondered this last week when you talked about it. A person who has gotten to the point of writing the ethical will
Yeah,
kind of has things in order pretty much. And by that point, you already have you should already have the arrangements for where you're going to be buried and people you're going to be buried next to. That would come, I think, long before you're doing an ethical will, because an ethical will is not something that everybody does. And where you have, I know a lot of people put it off, but the person writing the ethical will is probably already
prepared.
And I don't think you need. It's like you finish that, you're done with it, you're ready to move on to the next thing. And
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think like clearly everybody does monetary, like starting, I think, many people do it once they have a family, right? And then the physical, like people start to think about as they age, or, maybe if there's an illness in the family or they're ill, people tend to do it, right? But this is usually probably the last thing. However, it doesn't have to be, right? I mean, it'd be nice if we did them throughout. I personally think we should do them throughout our lives and have many different renditions of it. Okay, so next thing. Okay, so I think it's interesting that in the bio, she doesn't at all, she never talks about being Jewish in her ethical will. Like clearly it's something her grandchildren remember about her. There's so much part of it, but like she doesn't mention it. So I think it would have been good if she said, please remember me, make sure that, you notice my name on the memorial wall, or this is not this is our kindness wall. Oh, I like this. Or tzedakah, yeah, oh, that's nice. Okay, That's the memorial wall?
No, it's in the sanctuary,
Okay, that's.
in the
You
sanctuary.
have a lot of honors here, I love it. Okay, so the memorial wall and the sanctuary, but just to like take notice of me, remember me, you know, nothing. Say cottage, like the other one we had, say cottage for me, but she doesn't have anything about being Jewish, she has nothing, you know, she really doesn't have a lot in here. Does she have any area of forgiveness in here?
She doesn't even say I love you.
She doesn't even say I love you, blessing and love, right? Like there's not a lot of emotion for Jenny, you know, it's very much like, so I kind of struggle with it. It sounds a little monetary, but there is a little bit of ethical will in it too. Yes, tell me your name,
Barbara.
Barbara.
I guess it makes me think of her particular background and the time. And maybe I'm, obviously I'm reading into it, but I guess I would feel that Jenny would make an assumption that the family would continue practicing Judaism in some way, and that they would assume her love.
Right.
And that's probably based on my recollections of my own grandparents.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is right, like we always, remember I told you the story about my mom, that, you know, she didn't wanna do an ethical will because you know me, why do you need my ethical will, right? But there's something about it that is really lovely to read, the ethics of our loved ones. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna work on writing our own ethical will, and you have 2 documents in front of you. And Joyce is gonna co-teach this part with me. So there's 2 parts. And I like both of them for different reasons, okay? I'm gonna tell you why I like both of them, and then we're gonna start writing in a second, okay? Yeah,
Can you just refresh? Last week you told us, and I wrote it down, but I don't have my notes. 3 things that should be,
so the spiritual, the financial, and the ethical will? Is that-
no, in the ethical will. I remember, values.
Values, beliefs, dreams, hopes, wishes,
Mhm.
okay? Oops, sorry, yeah, family photo. Traditions, great, sure. And in fact, I'm gonna show you something in a second. But let me just tell you, 2 different packets, okay? 2 different packets. One of them is like very much chart oriented. This one says, and by the way, I didn't write either one of these. So people always like to point out the errors in them. They're not my errors, so I'm just telling you in advance, okay? You can see one is by Beth Lumley and the other one is by Barry Baines, 2 different people, 2 different packets. I like this one because it's got a lot of like charts in it and it's good in certain ways. I like this one because it's like Chat GBT. How many of you use Chat GBT? A little bit, right? We're all kind of getting used to it, right? What I like about this one is it's like literally the ethical will for dummies. No offense, you're not the dummies, but those big yellow books that all of us have and have read on whatever we want to learn, right? That's kind of like what this one is, because what it does, and I want to just take you real quickly to I want you to go with me to page excuse me, let's see here, to page 7, okay? It literally takes you step by step through the ethical will, and it gives you even a beginning sentence. So all you're supposed to do is you've got your beginning sentence and you're gonna write your paragraph after that. So if you're on page 7, it gives you opening thoughts. Okay, how do you want to start your ethical will? Very easy. I'm gonna pick number 3, okay? Or the 3rd box. Dear children, a few words to express my thoughts and feelings. Now I'm gonna say a few words and I'm gonna write a paragraph or so, right? It's nice, it's easy, okay? Let's go to page 9 for a second, just so you could see. So this one is really gives you like, it breaks it down, it's really nice. So this one is on the importance of education, learning, and knowledge, okay? I'm gonna go to this one that's right before the last. That's gonna be the one I start with. I hope that you will have a passion for learning in school, learning for the sake of learning and not with an eye only to the future career or how much money you can make. And now, you're right. And you say, I have always treasured learning. Unfortunately, my loved ones, my parents didn't have an education. I was the first one to go to college. So for me, it's very important to me that you went to college, that you have an occupation, and that you're proud of who you are. Make sure that you always treasure learning and pass it on to your children. Get it? So you're gonna write a little bit. Any questions so far?
Can you just have the starting here? Do you have to always add more? Or these are like good things to start with.
Well, it's so funny because my mom, who I like to talk about, and remember to be for a blessing. She came to a lot of our ethical wills classes, and I think there were times she just checked the box. And then I read it and I was like, wait a second, she got it from there, but you know what? It's still what, she clearly picked it. It's what she thought, and I agree with you. Could you just pick it? Sure. Makes it shorter, and you can literally pick your things and be done with your ethical will in about 5 minutes, right? But this is like nice because it's like it has all the areas and it goes right through it. Okay? Yep.
Well, if you do it on your computer, Eric, then you can come back when you're feeling
Yes.
more spiritual.
It's the starting point, right?
I also wanted to say it's Eileen. And then Diane, oh my God, I'm sorry. All right, so Diane, you asked a question to repeat what goes in it. If you look at page 1, okay? Page 1, I have different ones, I say hopes, dreams, wishes, but page 1 says an ethical will is a way to share with your family and your community values, beliefs, life lessons, hopes for the future, love, and forgiveness. Okay? So those are the main categories. So this is one packet. We're gonna go back to that in a second. This is the other packet. Now this packet, like I said, this one's nice too. It gives an outline. It's like they're like the same thing and they're both from 2 different books, whatever. But this one has a lot of go to page 3 with me for a second. It has like a lot of charts in it. So they're nice. Right, if you wanted to do your history, past and present. Look how nice it is. It gives you, categories of you're gonna write on each of these little things. Now I'm gonna tell you what I love about this. What I love about it is that I love the little categories because they make you think, right? I also struggle with this one a little bit because it's got a lot in it. Okay, so I started to use this one and I was like, oh my God, I could write a book. I couldn't stop writing, especially on the third page 4. I just could not stop writing. Because if you see on page 4, it has life lessons, growth from loss and failure, achievements and accomplishments, gratitude, and advice. And they only give you this much to write. I mean, literally, I couldn't stop writing. Now, here's the thing, and I talked about this maybe last week. You may decide you're writing so much that you need to go write your memoirs. And that's okay. Take a memoir class, write your memoirs. Should an ethical will be 50 pages?
It could be if it.
So I think that's long. I think it ends up becoming memoirs because it's including so much story on your life. And by the way, my mom, she did so many ethical wills that she ended up writing her memoirs because she wanted to share her story with us, and she did, which was beautiful. And she gave it to us as a Hanukkah gift many years ago. But her ethical will really keeps the ethics and the values of what she wanted. So when you feel yourself drifting into, oh, let me tell you what happened there, you're like, oh, you got to reel yourself back in. And that's hard. That makes it harder. So what we're going to do is we're going to work out of both of these. And when you go home, you can work out of both. And you might find, like Diane said, you might find you're like, oh my gosh, maybe write it on the computer because of the fact. Some people want to write it because they want their loved ones to have their handwriting. They're both good. There's no right or wrong in it. Some people like to write because it's the way many of us grew up, and it comes out different on paper sometimes on the computer. Whatever works for you. Some of us want to video these things. Great. Whatever you want to do, video, record. It doesn't matter. Just do it, right? Okay. So we're gonna start. Yep.
Is this just for us, or is this, do you possibly put it in this format into your ethical will?
You could put it right like that into your ethical Well, oh, this whole document?
No, just like this,
I wanna do it like a chart, I would write on each area, you know? But if you wanted to, look, there are no rights or wrongs, like, but I would say it should be a couple of pages. You know, not too many, it shouldn't be 50 pages, I don't even think it should be more than 2 or 3, you know, which is hard, okay? And take different sections, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start, okay? We're gonna start very easily, ready, here we go, this is the hardest one.
You wanna have everybody come and sit?
Oh, yes, thank you, that was what so glad Joyce keeps me on track. So we set up the table because it's easier to have the table, so if you could all come and sit around the table, that would be great. Bring your little notebooks and your pen, you could leave your stuff there, no one's taking it. Come sit around the table, and we're gonna just pick, we're gonna pick some, we're gonna write, we're gonna put you on a timer. And we'll start with here, start.
and then you have done again.
Hey. You don't wanna come and sit at the table?
Okay, it's too high for me and I have a clipboard.
Okay, okay.
I'll be fine.
I'm very comfortable. Okay, so I'm gonna have us start in this packet. Remember, there's no right or wrong. You might say, I like this packet better and be done with this one. You might wanna write from this one and be done with this one, but we're gonna do a little bit of both today. So where are we gonna start? Right at the very beginning. Okay, anyway, here we go. We're gonna start in the one called the ethical wills, break down workbook. Okay, and where are we starting? What I showed you before, page 7, opening thoughts. Okay, you're going to, this is the chat GPT version that I said, right? So you're gonna pick one. You're gonna pick one of these, of our opening thoughts, and we're going to set a timer. You're gonna have 5 minutes to write. If you finish early, write do your shopping list. I don't know. Spend some time thinking about what else you gotta do today. But just I'll ask you to be quiet so that other people can write. Okay, so we're gonna set a timer for 5 minutes. And after the 5 minutes are over, you'll hear the alarm. And then Joyce will give you 1 more minute, and then we'll switch to a different topic. Okay? Do you wanna, yeah. Okay. All right, we're gonna get this time going. All right, begin.
Did you actually write that first sentence, whatever we picked, write that down?
Write the first sentence, yeah, so you remember that you took it. Yes.
We have to write changes. We have to write from each one and answer.
Pick the one you like.
We just pick the one we like. Thank you.
Jane, why don't you come and do it too? Come join us. Come join us. Do this, do it. Why not?
Follow me. Okay.
Anyone?
Here.
Yeah, sure.
I got one.
Thanks.
And no, I got it. You got it.
Okay, that's your timer. I'm giving you 1 more minute to wrap up the section.
Well, Barbara has her computer. That's cheating. Think ahead, you planned ahead.
I don't think she.
Hey.
Okay. So how did that feel to write?
Good,
Good?
yeah,
Did it give you some starting points?
yeah,
Did you feel like you could have written a lot more?
Yes.
probably.
Okay, so it's just kind of that you're gonna use as a starting point. And you'll be able to more at home. It's kind of like it's supposed to spur thoughts. And I know when was working on mine, I'd write something down and then I'd write another note, oh, I want to put this in it that goes with this. I was kind of in 10 places, but then I went and took it and I put it all together in a paragraph. So everybody has a little different way of doing it. So the next one is the packet that says Ethical Wills, Writing Legacy by Beth Lemay. The
Different packet.
the different packet, the other packet, the smaller packet.
Skip it around.
The template.
We're gonna skip around, yeah.
Yeah.
Go on to the other packet.
So we are on page 6, where it says personal values and beliefs. Does everyone have that? On Zoom, do you have that?
Show them.
Okay. So, look at all these personal values. How about starting with the personal values and putting a check mark next to the ones that you think are the most important to you? What are the ones that you want to pass down the most? What it is about you that you want to pass down? Why do you want to pass it down?
Let everybody look up. Look at the camera.
Sure.
Just look at the camera.
Look up for picture.
Say cheese.
Cheese.
Or how about, I don't know, say something better.
Say, I'm still.
Rugalo, say Rugalo.
Rugala.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, there. Okay, so the characters.
So go through and put a check mark. And I know my first looking at it, I'm like, oh, I like this one and I like this one. And I kept going on and on and on. But then become a little bit more selective.
And so in this section, you're gonna share a little bit about your characteristics and what characteristics you would like to pass down to your family, children, whoever. And you're gonna pick the characteristics. So like, maybe you are someone who.
So I'm a hard worker. Okay, I want to pass that down, especially to this new generation. Or I may want to pass down that friendship is very, very important to me. And it's important to care about others, kindness, faith, gratitude. And you check the ones that you think are important. Like I said, then you narrow it down and you choose a few that you want to write about. And we'll set a timer for 5 minutes.
Are we actually writing or just choosing?
We have to choose, there's some time to choose this.
Yeah, so we'll give you 3 minutes to choose. How's that? And then
When you say you're ready, we'll give you the timer to go.
tell me when you're ready. Ready?
No,
No?
we're slow.
No problem.
Check the bottom.
That's a problem.
I'll go back and forth on it.
Maybe try to pick, I mean, that's a good exercise. Remember, this exercise is for us too. So maybe try to pick 3 characteristics that you could focus on, because if you pick like 20, you're not gonna be able to write all 120.
Thank you.
But it's good for you to know too, right? Or what would you like to be more of? You're still here, remember?
Right.
You hear me?
Yeah.
So, based on those three that you wrote, that you chose as your top three. Now we're gonna take maybe 2.5 minutes and write about the first one.
Okay, so we're gonna set the timer. We'll give you 3 minutes, and then we'll give you one after, okay? So
So
just
you want us to pick the top three, you didn't
And
list
you
it in
pick
your
the
question.
top three and then,
top three.
and write about one.
If you feel like it takes you a sentence to write about one, then write about all three. Again, we're not grading you, we're here just to support you as you write. So 5 minutes, we're gonna give you 5 minutes, wherever you get, you get. If you write about one, great, if you write about two, great, if you write about three, even better. If you write about none or one, all good, okay, your time. 5 minutes, here we go.
How's everyone doing? You have a minute and a half, not even a minute and a half left.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Check.
What difference is between resilience and endurance?
Okay, let's do the question afterwards.
Okay.
So that way.
Okay.
Great. We have 1 minute now to wrap up. This is your timer. Okay, got a minute to go. Okay.
So, so the next part, do you remember last week? Last week, we talked about, we read that one ethical will where the man said, I hope you forgive me. We worked together and there were some mistakes and things. What do you think that you would do? Is there anything that you would want to ask for forgiveness from? Yes,
Yeah. I would.
you would?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, think about a particular one or two things, and you can be specific or not. You can actually say, you know, there were times in my life I wish I was around more, or there are times in my life where I wish I went to your games, or I wish I did this, and I hope, or I wish I wish that I had insisted that you go to Hebrew school more or something. I'm just making up things.
Just lay a guilt trip, huh?
No guilt trip. But then say, but I hope that based on some of the lessons that maybe I've learned, perhaps you can glean from them and move forward.
Yeah, so I wanna just take a moment.
Who's surprised? Who's surprised?
Yes, I want to take a moment to just say that. So we're going back to the other packet. Remember, I said we're gonna work from both of them. So we're back in this one now. Now you're probably like, my ethical will is going all over the place and there's no order to it. That's okay. We're just writing today. It's because it's an opportunity to kind of almost like free write, if you will. And it might come to it might coalesce to be something, and it may not. And that's okay, because you might go back and be like, I never talked about education. I never talked about this. Or just like, I've been writing mine too. And every time I come home from one of these events, because I often write too while you're writing, I come home with different paragraphs. So at some point I'm gonna glue them all together and see what happens and see what it looks like, right? And I might change some stuff too, because I noticed that when I write in the journal that you guys have, I write differently than when I write in my notes on my phone, which is sometimes how I do it, because I don't, want to write in the journal. I want to copy and paste it easily. So Joyce just asked you about your mistakes, the things you don't feel good about. So page 15 in this one has learned from your mistakes or your regrets, right? So I want you to take a moment in a second to take that time to pick one of these, or, maybe pick a few, right? And I will tell you something just to kind of make you laugh a little bit. Remember, I told you my mom, she definitely did this version. I know she did because I've seen the sentences, but sometimes I could tell she just checked 3 and then she wrote it all together, but it sounded really good. And I know it was what she felt or believed. So maybe you just, learn from mistakes. It's impossible to be successful in everything you do. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Well, that's a little repetitive. But maybe, if you focus on things that are important to you, failures may come, but they will be forever. You see, those 2 sentences could work together if you wanted, or don't use these sentences at all and write your own. There's no right or wrong. It's really about the category in the top. And then I'll just say this too. Nusha, you had a question, and I just want to take a moment. What was your question? Something about resilience.
Resilience, and there was another one that to me sounded exactly the same.
Endurance?
Maybe it was, I have to find my thing. Yeah, resilience and endurance.
What's the difference between resilience and endurance? I'm not Merriam-Webster, but I would say that in my mind, like resilience is like our strength, how we've like held together when things have been hard.
Or come back,
What?
or come back.
Or come back, right? Endurance to me is like how long we last, right? Like endurance is like, think of the copper top battery. I don't know why that's coming to my mind, but like when we last, to have endurance in something, you last a long time when we wish for that. But resilience is like has strength to it. But it's going through something hard and being able to keep going, right? So I think it's a little different, right?
All right.
Yeah. Does that help?
There is a Romanian expression.
Yeah.
Please God, don't give me as much as I can carry.
Don't give me as much as I what?
Carry.
Oh, don't give me as much as I carry.
Can carry.
Can carry.
Can carry.
Don't give me as much as I can carry. Yes, that's interesting. It's a good one. But I would also say too, what does it feel like to do this right now? Does it first of all, do you feel stressed? Do you feel stressed? Do you feel a little bit? Okay, that's okay. Do you feel pressured a little bit, or don't worry, you are pressured a little bit because you have I'm giving you 5-minute timers. You wouldn't have that if you were at home doing it, but you wouldn't have me to make you do it, right? So, right. Tell me your name again.
Shelley,
Shelley.
I think it's more like, now that you've put something on paper, it encourages you to continue instead of just putting these leaflets in the file.
Correct. And that's why I always, when I tell people, when I go do this, I always say, you want me for the second one too. Because if I would have just sent you home after the first one, you would have been like, oh, that was great. It was so enjoyable. We learned a lot, but you won't write. So this forces us to actually sit down and do it. Okay,
To begin,
the beginning, right, this is the beginning, right? Right, so that is a question I always get asked, so I think you can give it to them while you're living. And you can remember, you can give them more than one, right, so I have, I think, 2 or 3 from my mom, she edited it, she changed it. I'm blessed to have all of them, right? Some people feel uncomfortable giving them. And some people wanna wait to the end of their life, or they wanna wait until they're dead and let it be part of the, you know, the file that they get. So it's really up to you. Because remember, they can be written at so many stages, and if you look in this, I think it's in this packet, might be in the other one, hold on, I'll tell you. If you look in, I'm pretty sure it's in here. It's in this one, page 3, when might you write an applicable will? You'll see, it gives you a whole list. When for betrothed couples, expectant and new parents, growing families, empty nesters, middle age and beyond, and end of life. People think that this is like an end of life thing. It's not an end of life. And when I was teaching a class last week, said to them, you know what, if there's anything that comes out of this, this is about a way to also, this is a check-in with yourself. This is a way to say, hey, I'm still alive. Like, I might have a lot of regret, but maybe I can work on that. Or maybe I want to do more of this. Or maybe it's a good way of doing what we call cheshbon hanefesh. This is like your opportunity to like check in and do an accountability of your own soul and figure out what changes do you want to make. Because I'll just keep saying it, we're all Baruch Hashem, we're still here. Thank God, we're still here. So write it. And you might say, you might go home and be like, oh my gosh. Remember I told you last week, I wrote mine and I said, I'm so sorry that I never took that dance class. And then I was like, whoa. I went right away and signed up for a dance class because we're still here. Okay, so. Yeah, that's very interesting. She said, I think a will is a bad name for it because when we think of a will, we think of something we're doing when we die. I really like that. I would put that's like maybe it should be like a ethical
legacy.
Or ethical. It's interesting because I think they call it here. Where was it? Testament? Let's say on the other one. What's the cover one of this one? They say testament? Template. I think it should be like a testament, maybe because you can write this testament at any point in your life, but why does it have to be a will? Such a great point. That's such a great point, because I think people would do it more if they didn't feel like it was like a will, right? That's such a great point. Words matter. Okay, so now you're gonna,
Can I ask you a question?
yeah.
Have you shared your ethical will?
The one my mom wrote to me,
No,
or the
no.
one that I'm working on? I have not, because I'm still in process of writing it, but it has been really good for me to just think about like a lot of different things in my life. And like I said, it's also been good for me to say, wow, like these are the things like in the one you guys just did, right? Like education is really important to me. And it's interesting also to think about our parents and like what they taught us. Like that was something that was instilled in us. So I wrote, to my own children who are young, they're 13 in a week and 10. But I wrote to them how like that's so important to me, and that I hope they always find ways to seek out education and learn. And of course, I said to them like I hope they study Torah, because I think learning Torah is really about learning about ourselves. But I think it's an interesting thing too. But I have shared parts of my mom's. I actually gave a sermon about it here, I don't know, last year. But just and what that does for me when I read it.
Do you have a spouse? Are you married?
Yes, I do, yes.
Have you shared your thoughts with your spouse?
No, I've not shared any of this with him, because look at this, I'm working on it too. It's new for me to work on my own. I mean, I'd say maybe because, what's your name? Andrea. I'd say that not a lot of, so I'm in my 50s, and I'd say like not a lot of people in their 50s do this, probably because of exactly what Andrea said, because, they think of it as like a will, and people usually are usually the people who come to this class, unfortunately, are more, I would say, 50 plus, 60 plus even. And if I want, I'm not gonna ask for your ages, but like usually, and I think it probably, that's really interesting, it's like, well, maybe. It's very interesting, thank you, it's good to think about, yeah,
Well,
Lynn.
I promise I won't talk anymore, but wasn't last week, wasn't it in your class?
Yeah.
That you were kind of preaching in a way that we have to live each day as if it's our last.
Yes, yes,
And that's why I asked you.
yeah, no.
If you have shared.
I'm working on it, yeah, and you know what, like, and it's like, and like, the truth is, right, people don't, like, you know, how come it took you all this long to do it, right? Like, that's the
You
question.
teach it to them.
Oh, thank you, but, so Lit, you had a question.
Rather than a question, just a recollection. If you are a survivor of a spouse who is deceased, and that spouse left messages to the children, not in the terms of ethical will, because she or he may not have used those terms, refresh yourself on what your spouse wrote in some kind of a legacy to the children or grandchildren. I have done that over my lifetime, and it's fascinating to me to recall some of the things my husband wrote to our children
So you're saying, have you written an ethical will, Lynn?
a long time ago.
A long time,
And
so now you're working on your new one, right?
I, my fourth one.
Ah, there you go, but you're saying that maybe because your husband has passed on, then maybe you would include some of the things that he taught in yours, that's beautiful,
Precisely.
right? And in my mom's, in the last one that she wrote, she even had a moment or part of it where she said, take care of your father, please make sure that he is well and cared for. So every time I read that, you know, my father is alive still, thank God, and I also feel like there's an extra pressure for me to make sure that he's taken care of. And I think, you know, it's just the reminders of hearing that voice, of what's really important still. Okay, are you ready to write again? Oh, you guys have a lot of questions. No, it's okay.
You know, I just, I wanted, I don't wanna miss anything,
Yeah.
but I have to go somewhere, so I was wondering how long we were gonna continue.
Oh, yeah, well, I like to go like quarter after, so if anyone wants to stay with us, I usually do an hour 15, is that okay?
It's recorded and it'll be on YouTube as well.
What I just asked?
Okay, so we got.
I heard you, yeah.
Okay, so, I'm happy to stay for 10 minutes, how about that, 10 minutes, good for everybody? She's the one who's not good for everybody, if it's not good for you, no worries, you may leave, I won't be upset, I don't take attendance, I don't grade, it's all good. The only thing that I ask is that if you are gonna leave, to make sure to fill out an evaluation to give it to us, so evaluations are really important, and they give us feedback and helping us to improve the work we do, and also to let our leadership in the company know how we're doing and how you are learning about our Jewish hospice care, the Jewish hospice support care program. Okay, so the last one, we're gonna give you 5 minutes, and that is going to be the one on page 15 in this packet, and that is going to be the one that is learning from your mistakes, page 15 in this packet. And again, if you are leaving, I'll ask you to spend some time on the evaluation, or send it to us sometime. So page 15, and I'm gonna set a timer for 5 minutes, and then we'll talk about it, and if you can stay, great, and if not, no worries, it's all good, okay?
I mean, can you actually write about something that you're sorry that you did as well?
Yes,
Okay.
of course, it is your time, right? So this one is either page 15 or something you're sorry about, regrets you've had, the mistakes you've made, what you've learned, what it can teach them. Okay, here we go.
Minute, 44 seconds left. You okay? Thank you. Perfect. Yay.
He's all good. Oh, some sound.
Yay, wow, sunny, probably cold out there.
Let's see what that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's time. I'm gonna just give you 30 seconds or so to wrap up, and then we'll just do a little. Okay, so I hope that was a really good start for you. I hope you feel like you got some writing done. And the beginning of an ethical will, you may find that you may want to write more, and you should. Like, that's what we gave you a journal for. We didn't give you one piece of paper, we gave you a whole journal so you could write. Take the packets, they're yours. Thanks to Lynn and Jane for photocopying them and having us all ready today. And thanks to Rabbi Moss for inviting us to be here. And if you need ever any support, or a loved one needs support from Tikva Jewish Care and Support Program at Trustbridge and Path at Trustbridge, feel free to reach out. Actually, we have some cards. Let me give you those too. And as I said, if you could also write your evaluations, please. That's really helpful. Would anyone like a card? It's not a playing card. Oh,
I didn't hear, I was on.
okay. Anybody else?
Thank you,
Sure.
thank you very much.
You got
Sorry. Don't put it in front of the speaker.
I think you do it on my same.
No, no problem. Yeah, sure. Another job. Another job. It's only real way about us. Oh, yeah, but that's what my kids. Yeah. We got new ones last week. It's very exciting. The whole time. Does anyone else?
No.
Still, I got this in right. Thank you everyone for being with us. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Any other evaluations that need to be turned in?
When I was
I've
looking
got
at
one.
my church and all that.
Oh,
Few minutes there.
okay,
I know, maybe, I think I felt the same way. But you know, it's good, and, I thought about it, it's not right. Oh, gosh, I have that 3 times. Pretty cool walk again.
This was way where they should begin to see.